So that one is centered to Mark Dion. Shayna Yates with the disc on the far side. That one a run through D almost, but Cole Deagle keeps it in his possession and resets it to Dion. Person to person D here from PBHG. Finds Diggle under again. That one a bit low, but hangs out in front of Dion, who puts it looking to the end zone. And right away for the goal, Bunny Thugs making this one 1-0 with Marina Aspen on the end of that one.
And making it look so easy, too. A quick dish up the line, and then a quick backhand throw deep with tons of room on the far sideline to grab that there. Bunny Thugs doing a great job of coming out strong at the start of this game here.
So definitely a good start right here early in this game. See if they can continue that momentum. There was some good tight pressure defense there from the PBHG team, so I'm sure they'll look to continue that through the course of this game as well.
And as with our games from yesterday and our game earlier as well, we are looking for a fan decided player of the game, as decided by you guys at home watching on the feed. So you can tweet at us. You can tweet at us using the hashtag CUC Surrey and give us a fan nomination. Actually, I'll put that graphic up there for everybody. So you can put your vote in for your fan player of the game, and they're going to receive a pair of Layout Ultimate gloves to be awarded at the end of this game. So send your tweets to us and let us know who you'd like to see get that pair of gloves.
So the Bunny Thugs now pulling, looking for their first break of the game. See what they can do with defense, coming down that poachy defensive set that we saw yesterday as well in their game. That one being pushed now over to the far sideline. Some zone here again, but DeLorme comes through in the middle. Now to Benoon. Schwartz on the near sideline. Benoon trying to look for an option here. This poachy defense, hard for them to find options for it, as now Benoon goes through the cup for the scoober over some coverage there, but it's reeled in. Back to Benoon. Finds Beardsell. Now Jada Lim with the disc. Lim finds Benoon getting open up line, but that one sails too far in front of him, and he can't keep that in his possession.
A good cut, but just not a good enough throw to make it connect there.
So the Thugs now trying to get it out of their own end, unable to do so, and PBHG will look to take advantage here, convert on a short field turnover. Benoon will pick up. Looking around to Thompson and then into the end zone. Sam Beardsell comes down with that one.
Yeah, and making it look a little bit more easy than it was for the rest of the field. Bunny Thugs throwing a good set of defense there. The Bunny Thugs a turnover, just a miss execution, throwing it a bit too low and hitting the ground first. But good on for PBHG there to turn it around and come back strong to put the score back at 1-0.
That's the kind of game I think we can expect to see here from these two teams. Not willing to give up any easy points here as well. PBHG did turn over that one initially, but were able to get it back on the short field and convert on their second attempt.
And I think we're going to see a lot of the same players that we did on our stream yesterday and the day before. You heard Becky there say Thompson and Beardsell, the two main players for the PBHG team. And I think we'll see Jada Lim as well from their team making strikes and catching the disc for them as well. And on the Bunny Thugs side, we had some mispronunciations of names, but we got corrected. So Scram, we were pronouncing Schram, I believe. So apologies for that. And but look out for their main handlers as well as runs fast Garrett Gardner from the Bunny Thug side.
Yeah, Schram being the correct pronunciation of that one. So we'll make sure we get those ones fixed for this game, as PBHG now, that one's going to sail just slightly out of bounds here on your near sideline. You can hear again, we gave PBHG a lot of credit for this in the last game, but a little bit of camaraderie there with yelling not a puller. Brett Lindsay will get us underway. Handler, poachy defense here from PBHG as McGill shoots that one to the far side for Aspen. Aspen goes inside to Gartner. Resetting now to Yates. Yates looking for an option. Has the around look to McGill, who tries to reel that one in, but just out of her hands, and it comes back. A turnover now. PBHG with their first chance to break in this game. Galvez puts that one back. Now holstering on that far sideline. Kirk Wright puts it around to Paget. Tight defense here, and they go around to the outside. That one pops up but stays in the hands of Liam Sawatsky. Paget now over to Galvez. Galvez putting that one around Sarah Herms, one of the many Herms sisters. Lou Galvez now finds Wright. Still looking for an upfield option as Galvez is going every other throw now. An around option here, Sawatsky. Now back with Herms. About 20 yards out of the end zone here. PBHG looking for their first break of the game. Paget, Sawatsky putting that one towards the end zone. It's going to hang too far in front of the receiver, Paget, there, and it gives the disc back to the Thugs.
A creative throw from the handler, actually throwing it underneath the defender's foot, and it hung up for longer than I was expecting, but just unable to lay out and reel that one in for the break.
So we'll see if the Thugs can go the full 70 yards here the other way. Trying to get a hold still in this game as Yates puts that one to Aspen. Aspen finds Yates again up line. Gartner in the middle finds Weeseth Wong, holstering that one with the upline shot. Now looking for a reset, we'll find Brett Lindsay back on this near sideline. Lindsay fakes the upline and centers back to Yates in the middle. But that one too far in front of her, and the bidding Yates can't get to it.
I think Yates expecting that disc to go further back than it was. It was quite a horizontal throw and not so much a vertical one.
Blady Huck goes up, and a little touch there from the defense of Garrett Gartner, and the Thugs have another opportunity here with their offense.
It's tough for a receiver when you have a defender go up early before you to read the knockoff there that Gardner created, and unable to reel it in for the PBHG team again.
Yates now. Still some tight defense as Tim Dirksen gets it on the far sideline. Inside to Gartner, and a pick called in the middle of the field.
Yeah, the Bunny Thugs player all by herself going deep there, and that was because I think, yeah, Herms had picked her own player.
Lindsay now faking the huck, and now we'll go for it, but that one's going to blade short straight into the outstretched arms of Liam Sawatsky, who makes the easy defensive play. PBHG looking like this point should be their break point. See if they can convert this time. Sawatsky into the middle of the field with Catherine Herms, who finds Wright on the far sideline. Puts that one back around to Paget. Matthew Paget around to this near sideline for Sawatsky. Sawatsky will put that one towards the end zone, but some defensive coverage, and that one will sail over the head of the receiver and the defense.
And you saw number 16 there, Brianne Yazenko, trying to chase down the floaty disc that didn't quite connect with the intended receiver, the first intended receiver. Good awareness to try and chase that one down.
Lindsay puts it over to Yates. Up to Gartner. Resetting to Shayna Yates, who puts that into the middle, but Marina Aspen off her hands, that one coming in fast towards her face, and not sure if she thought she was the intended receiver. Tim Dirksen was also in that space. Yozenko looking for an option, has the inside flick shot to Sawatsky just outside of the end zone, and then in to Wright for the break, and PBHG lead this semifinal 2-1.
Great job. Quick, fast break at the end there after a long point. Multiple opportunities for PBHG. Becky, you called it during that point, saying that this is PBHG wants this to be their break, and they did make it happen in the end. A couple of throws that were a bit too long or a bit too high, but finally connecting on an easy break throw to make it count there at the end. Aspen, like you said, trying to receive a howitzer throw, and maybe not intended directly for her, but she happened to be in the way and bouncing off her hands to generate that turnover.
Yeah, so we'll see if the Thugs can find a way to respond quickly. That point definitely, despite the execution mistakes on converting for PBHG, they always looked like they were going to be able to stifle the offense there for the Thugs. So Thugs definitely going to have to find a way to respond to that tight person-to-person defense. See what they can accomplish here, back out on offense, looking to keep this game at 2s. Just the one break so far here, the only separation right now.
And while we have this little break in play, I'll remind you guys who are just joining us that we are looking for a fan player of the game who's going to receive a pair of Layout Ultimate gloves, sponsored by Layout Gloves, obviously, and with the branding of the Ultimate Canada. So you can tweet at us using the hashtag CUC Surrey. Let us know who your vote is for the fan player of the game, and we'll go and hand them a set of cool gloves. If you have any other questions, comments, heartaches, or concerns, you can tweet at myself and Becky as well.
That pull is a big floaty one, sailing towards the far side of the field, but lands just outside of the end zone as Mark Dion will get a chance to bring it inbounds.
Yeah, it was a great pull, it looked like, but just floating just too long and ended up bouncing just outside the sideline there.
So Dion will bring it into play here. Looking under Cole Diggle here now with the disc, now putting it back to Dion. Not finding an option right away. Looking to reset Sean Fertoski. Fertoski moves that one quickly to Gartner, who puts it around to Weeseth Wong. Back over to Diggle. Mark Dion now. Finds Yates in the middle. Still tight defense here from PBHG as Diggle gets open again on the far side and now looking to the end zone, but just over the head of Dre Weeseth Wong there.
Just a bit of a tall throw. Weeseth Wong, not the tallest player on the line. Maybe should have thrown that a bit sharper and lower. A good second effort. She turned around, knew immediately it was going to be over her head and trying to grab it on the second chance there, but unable to.
So Medwick here for Pretty Boys, Handsome Girls will bring us back into play. PBHG looking for their second break of the game as that Huck gets holstered with the help defense there from Fertoski. Now looking again for the Huck. Beardsell in the space. Gartner trying to chase it down, but Sam Beardsell makes that easy, taking one step into the end zone, and that is a second break here for PBHG.
And a great read from Beardsell there. That was a long throw coming a long way down the field, almost a full 70 yards, and grabbing it, making awareness, using the awareness to make sure his feet were inbounds in the end zone there, line as indicated by the observer. PBHG taking 2 goals in a row here to make it very interesting.
Yeah, 2 breaks off the bat here for this team out of Winnipeg, making it look pretty simple right now at the start of this one. See what they can do moving further into this game.
And Bunny Thugs, or I think, yeah, it looks like Bunny Thugs is taking a timeout. The Bunny Thugs team probably here looking to find something on their offense. That's been the struggle for them thus far. Just a couple of miscommunications and misexecutions that easy enough to tidy up. And we saw yesterday Fable doing the same thing in the first half in the game we streamed, and able to make that change for the second half. So we'll probably see Bunny Thugs here have a quick conversation, figure things out, and come back strong so that we can have ourselves a good game. I'm still anticipating this game to be nice and close and interesting. So don't turn your TV sets off just yet.
Yeah, this one very early on here still, and we often do see one team or the other go off to a 2-3-point run at the start of the game. This is a classic timeout call to stop that momentum. Of course, PBHG looking to keep it going here, but we'll see if they can do that. The Thugs not too phased usually by being down a few points early in a game. They pride themselves on being able to grind out these games like this, and this is a big one. Semifinals here at the National Championship, so I don't think we are anywhere near able to call this one yet.
Yeah, get your fourth line. For those of you who played hockey, get your fourth line grinders out there and start making it happen. Maybe put the dirty boys out and the dirty girls out to try and get something working for you here.
So the Bunny Thugs look like they're putting a power line out on offense here. Just wanting to make sure that they can get themselves a goal back on the board before PBHG has a chance to run away with it. PBHG, to be fair, look like they're doing the same thing. Lots of big names on the field for both of these teams. This is a semifinal situation, so both teams, I think, going to be closing their bench a little bit earlier in this game as we move forward. Normally you see teams start to do that at the end, but semifinals on the line, they don't have to play until tomorrow. I expect we'll see a lot of the same faces on the field today, as Fertoski will center that one to Dion. Dion looking for an under option, some poached defense there as it now goes inside to Tim Dirksen. Dirksen putting that one into space for Aspen. Aspen resetting to Dion. Now over to the far side. Dirksen puts it under, finds Schaefer. Schaefer resets. Dion eyes for the reset now with Fertoski, who puts that back to Dion on the far sideline. Thugs looking for an upfield option, and they'll get one with Marina Aspen coming off the front of the stack. Aspen resetting that one, but it hangs into space. Two reset options there, unfortunately putting it between both of them. Gifting the disc back here to PBHG as Kerr centers that one to Medwick. Will Medwick will pump that one, the blading flick, coverage, and neither receiver really reading that quite right as it sails over the head of both of them.
Both, yeah, I don't think PBHG player was going to call a foul there because he realized he'd made a mistake on the read as well. So no foul to be called. They were both in error there.
Dion finds Diggle under. Fertoski. Fertoski puts it onto the far side here for Dirksen, who dishes it to Dion and holstering his shot to the end zone there as he goes back inside. Has the reset there in Fertoski. The Thugs trying to find some options upfield with this tight coverage here from PBHG as it's now on the near sideline with Mark Dion. Back to Diggle.
No break. No break, Billy. No break.
Dion looking for an option, has Cole Diggle in the middle of the end zone wide open and manages to thread the needle to get the goal here for the Thugs.
And an interesting end zone setup there from the Bunny Thugs, opting to stay with three handlers staying out of the end zone. Typically, you would see two handlers stay out, but they're spreading the field wide when they get to the end zone and keeping only four cutters. With that said, though, they did have the front of the stack wildly open, as we saw there. The goal punched in rather easily.
Yeah, the Thugs, a typical style of offense for them, having the three handlers out. They like having the space in the stack to move, and the two handlers on the wings usually hanging a little bit back to make sure they're not clogging that throwing lane as well, but it does give them multiple reset options too. So good to see them take advantage of this one and bring this game, keep it within one, 3-2, and very early on here still, Lucas, but I think we've seen good offense from both teams. We just need to see now if the Thugs can generate something new on defense to pressure this PBHG team.
Yeah, and earn themselves a break back here. Definitely down in this game so far. Two breaks, sorry. PBHG utilizing, not utilizing, but coming on offense here, going to have to hold it to make sure they stay on top.
D-line and O-lines out respectively for these two teams.
And yeah, I'll just give a quick shout out to our Twitter handles. So it's at Lucas Main here and at RJ_Thompson16. You can tweet at us for questions, comments, heartaches, concerns, or anything that you'd like us to talk about.
Thompson and Benoon going 1-2 there. Now set in the middle here with Jarrett Ham. Resets to Thompson. The Poachy zone look again here from the Thugs. This one a 2-3-2. And the melt call coming quite early here from the Thugs as well as they scramble to find their checks. Delorme with the disc, putting that upfield to Lim. Jada Lim looking for an option. We'll look back to the reset with Ham. Does well to reel that one in and puts it over to Benoon. And the big layout D grab here from Sean Fertoski, fully extending and catching that D. The Thugs a chance to go back the other way, looking for a break.
And Beardsell unable to get around his defender there as the disc goes up.
And Garrett Peters reading that one well. Again, Justice Paul puts that flick into space. Peters resets to Paul, going 1 and 2. Paul looking for Fertoski, finds him. Fertoski finds Schramm in the middle towards the end zone, but this time a layout sliding defensive play here from Delorme keeps this disc with the chance here for PBHG to hold.
Two great blocks at either end of the field here for both teams, keeping their chances alive from both ends.
Everything on the line for these two teams as Ham picks up here now for PBHG. Looking around to Benoon. Peters on the mark. Benoon swings that one around to Thompson. Thompson will find an open Beardsell in the middle. Fertoski trying to get a run through D on that one. Benoon. Beardsell now. Thugs staying in that pressure person defense here, but no problem for Thompson to get open on the ender here. And now an open Delorme gets the disc. Looking for an option. Puts it back to Thompson. Resetting to Ham. PBHG being pushed further back into their own end here. Unable to find an option in the lanes upfield. As you can see, Beardsell taking off, but Ham fakes that huck and now over to Benoon. Benoon puts that under. Schwartz on the far sideline. Up to Beardsell, but in front of him, and I don't think he was aware that that pass was coming to him on that one.
Yeah, again, another hard shot where the receiver didn't really realize it was for them and coming out really hot out of the hands there. We're watching a great matchup here between Peters and Beardsell as well. They're tight on each other. As number 50, Fertoski goes to pick up the Sean. Fertoski goes to pick the disc up. He was the one with the first layout block on the end zone there. When it was a big one, I was ho-hoing to myself here, trying to contain my excitement for that.
Fertoski will call a timeout here. Thugs really looking to get at least one break back, so I think a good timeout call after a pair of turns each on this point.
Yeah, here to just settle your legs and say, guys, we've got a chance to break back and get ourselves into this game to tie it up. A good call by Fertoski here to slow it down, get some water in you, and set up a play probably coming out of the timeout.
Looks like they're starting to put a little bit more pressure on this PBHG team there as well, causing them to throw a few errant discs. I think in part due to the pressure defense, of course, PBHG did have an okay time. Once they were able to break through from the handlers upfield, they were off to the races. That last throw, unfortunately, too far ahead of Beardsell. So we'll see if the Thugs can take advantage of that. Definitely looking to get a break back early in this game and keep it close.
Jill, our camera operator here, sticking her head in front of the lens, trying to make sure that we don't have any water droplets on there. So apologies if you get a little bit of a jump scare from her pushing her nose in front to make sure that you guys can see clearly. Looks like offense is set. Coming out of the timeout here.
Fertoski will get us back underway here with the Thugs. Disc tapped in. Finds the reset with Paul. Paul pops that one a little bit high, but Schramm runs onto that one and now puts it inside, bidding Jada Lim, but Kuyava comes in with that. Fertoski fakes the upfield shot. Now putting it up again to Williams, who keeps that in despite the pressure here from Delorme. Reset to Fertoski. Fertoski going every other pass on this point, puts it up line. Schramm holstering that one, looking for the next pass here. The Thugs working it back and forth on that far sideline, content to dump a few yards, and now gaining. Garrett Peters somehow reels that one in, and now over to Hunks. Hunks resetting here to Fertoski. Fertoski went for the under option, the poach mark there from Thompson. Fertoski back again. The Thugs constantly dumping back between Paul and Fertoski here, not finding many upfield options, as now Paul looks up off the upfield as well.
Everyone looking tired on the field.
Sean Fertoski milks a few yards off of that one. Resetting to Paul, now getting it further off of that sideline. Puts it inside to Haley Williams. 2 yards from the end zone, looking for a break. Now in the middle with Paul. Doesn't have anything on the open side, goes for the inside shot. Haley Williams withstands the pressure from Renee Delorme, and the Thugs have a break back to tie this game at 3s.
If you had to pick an MVP for that point, it would definitely be Fertoski with a big layout grab on the far right-hand side of the field to make sure that the PBHG team is unable to score, and they're throwing the assist in the end to get that break point off. You could see everybody on the field very tired at the end. No one really cutting, everyone a bit out of grasp, but big good props to Bunny Thugs to be able to dig deep finally and make that break point happen.
Yeah, definitely good to see them come out of that one on top, make this game a little bit more interesting. PBHG still leading by a break, and it looks like another timeout has been called here. I think this time PBHG taking it after a few miscues for them on that last point, so maybe just wanting to clean it up and reset themselves a little bit.
Yeah, resetting now. The lead that you had generated 2 points ago, not even 1 point ago, is almost disappeared here. They are still up a break, but now to settle some nerves and say, hey guys, we're good, we're fine, no stress yet. We got lots of time to play here, and they're gonna want to just make it clean and smooth offensive point coming into this next one here.
So currently tied at 3s here, very still early on in this mixed division semifinal. Both of these teams will be playing tomorrow regardless of the outcome, with the bronze medal game and the finals happening on Sunday. Of course, those will both be live streamed. The bronze medal game at 10 a.m. Pacific time. The gold medal game will be at 12:30 Pacific time, so make sure you tune in to both of those. We don't know which of these teams will be headed where yet, but going to be an exciting one as we continue on in this game. And it has been already about half an hour here, Lucas. It's been a slow first part of this game, so we say early in this game, but the time already been eaten up a little bit.
Yeah, with that marathon point we just watched there, I think that was close to 7 or 8 minute long point. So yeah, you're right, taking a bit extra time there. And we'll take a minute here quickly again. So we're still looking for a fan player of the game. So up on your screen you can see, use the hashtag CUC Surrey and let us know who your vote is for the fan player of the game. I know mine's going out to Fertoski there for that last point. That was an excellent point by him.
Here we go, Colin.
Pull now in from Mark Dion. That one's going to float towards the back of the end zone, trailing off. A good pull here from the Thugs as Benoon now has the disc in the middle. Looking under to Matthew Paget. Paget fakes the huck upfield. Finds an under option now here for PBHG. Ness looking to reset. Finds Jada Lim upfield. Lim will go back to Swatsky. Paget. Schwartz bobbles but keeps that in her possession and finds Benoon in the middle. Benoon looking for the huck, but that one blades out of his hands, and I think the wet disc, maybe some of the weather, having an effect on that one.
And he is wearing gloves, but yeah, like you said, the wet disc, every time the disc touches the ground, it picks up a bit of water, and we are playing on turf fields here. There's not too much, but yeah, definitely didn't look like he had a good grip to let that one fly.
So the Thugs with a chance to get us back on serve, looking for another break here. Dion to Schramm. Schramm will reset that one to Dion, who goes to Yava in the middle of the field. Jada Lim with the layout attempt there. That's the second time we've seen her fly through on defense, but unable to come down with the D as Elisa Dirksen now finds Mark Dion. Dion, low on options, goes upfield to Eric Wieseth. Dion. Kuyava now. Little inside shot, gets low, and the layout run through D there. Liam Sawatsky getting in front, getting just a nice little touch on that one to give the disc back here to PBHG as Oren Benoon will pick this one up. Looking under to Schwartz. 2 yards from the end zone here. PBHG looking for a hold and to retain their lead. Benoon going up line, will run onto that one in the back corner, spiking the disc, and this one sits at 4-3 here for PBHG.
And a great set of effort there from Liam Sawatsky to bid probably like 3 or 4 inches off the ground to make sure his offender was unable to make that catch. And you could see him, he got up. We are playing on turf here, and he checked both his elbows. I think he took a bit of skin off when he did make that layup, but hey, if you ain't leaving it all out in the field, what's the point, right? So a great job there from PBHG to dig deep and make sure they held that offensive point. And now with a bit of extra energy because they're getting stoked up by Liam Sawatsky's bids there and the couple of bids from the ladies as well to try and make another break happen.
Yeah, definitely putting their bodies on the line here. PBHG looking very fired up on defense. Thugs gonna look for a quick response here. See what they can generate with their offensive unit here.
And if you are just joining us, you are watching the mixed semifinals, one of the mixed semifinals game. The other game is happening to the right, just off behind on field 2 there. But you're watching the Bunny Thugs from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, playing PBHD, Pretty Boys and Handsome Girls from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Medwick will pull here for PBHG. Looking to extend their lead with another break. That pull will blade over to the near corner of the end zone. The roll stopped by Fertoski as he centers it to Dion. A person-to-person look here from PBHG as that disc goes inside to Aspen. Now Gartner back to Yates. Thugs still trying to move the disc fairly quickly here, but that one goes too high and above the outstretched arms of Dion. Kerr will get this one. Yozenko now. PBHG looking to break again here. Yozenko low on options, but gets an option back with Wilson on the reset, who looks for Medwick. Falling to the ground on the second effort. He gets to that one. William Medwick with the huge grab to retain possession there. Now going back to Yozenko. Inside to Wilson. Dion on the mark here, looking now for another little high release backhand dish to the middle for Catherine Herms. Yozenko. And the pick called in the middle of the field as the stack upfield got a little bit congested there.
And Bunny Thugs with their first little mental mistake we've seen in a while here with that errant pass upfield that caused the turnover. Josh Kerr able to realize and jump all over it.
Kerr now shooting towards the end zone. That one, a slight touch from Aspen, and Lou Galvez holding her head now. I think no contact on that play, but when she went down to the ground, I think hitting her head possibly on the turf there.
And Ultimate Canada implementing some strict concussion protocol rules here as well at all their tournaments, not allowing, so if there's any doubt, any fuzziness, any headache whatsoever, that they will be sent over to the med tent to be evaluated. And there's a couple of physiotherapists on staff here and medical professionals to help out with that. So I think you're right, Becky. When she hit the ground there, she got a little roughed up, maybe snapped her neck against the ground or something. But
yeah, trying to make a bid to get to that disc as Aspen had the inside track on her, and that disc was coming in pretty fast and heavy as well. So trying to make a play on it, but unfortunately some contact with the ground there. And like you said, the strict rules, of course, she will have to be evaluated by a medic before any of that becomes a thought process here. Hopefully just making sure she's okay. Sometimes when you do have an injury like that, you just need to take a few minutes to yourself. Better to make sure you're okay than get up too quickly and have it be worse.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to say the C word too soon. For those of you guys who've watched Blue Mountain State in the past, it looks like we're getting a medical professional running onto the field here to have a look. So while we have a little bit of a break in the action, we can thank a couple of our sponsors. So obviously Discraft bringing all the game discs here. If you get a chance to glimpse of them, they're really awesome. They have game discs stamped right on the top, and we want to shout out to VC providing all the clothing for our volunteers, our commentators here in the booth, myself and Becky, as well as all of the Ultimate Canada professionals who helped organize and run this tournament, as well as shout out to Vancouver Ultimate League, the local league that helps run the recreational and more competitive leagues here in Vancouver and in Surrey. So if you have friends who are interested in getting into Ultimate Frisbee or have never tried it before, Vancouver Ultimate League provides a lot of different inlets for you to try it out. All you need is a pair of runners and a go-to attitude to give it a go. We prefer cleats. It's a lot easier to do with cleats, but I know a lot of people don't have those just lying around. So give it a go with some runners and let us know what you think. I love it. I've been playing for a while. I know, Becky, you've been playing for a while as well.
Just a few years at this point.
Well, just a couple, one or two. Still with the medic on the field here evaluating. Take this minute as well. So there's a beer garden set up on the far side as well. Beer brought to you by Strange Fellows Brewing from Vancouver here as well, a local craft brewery, providing all of our beer needs. And like Becky said, we're going to have more games streamed this afternoon. We're going to have the Mixed Masters Final, which happens at 4:30 local time here. And tomorrow we will have the bronze mixed game, the bronze medal game for the mixed division, as well as the gold medal or the finals for the mixed division tomorrow as well.
So I don't think you can see it on your screen, but there are some players from the Thugs finding some creative ways to keep warm right now, doing a little dance together, and you hear the PBHG players there cheering for them as well. These teams just trying to stay loose through this injury delay here in this game. And I think at this point as well, Lucas, we see PBHG looking slightly more confident on offense, taking some bigger risks with some of those shots. So I think Thugs just need to find some ways to readjust a little bit, and still, of course, very much so in this game.
Yeah, no one discounted yet. We are at 4-3 for PBHG leading, but yeah, you're right. I think PBHG getting a bit more aggressive, a bit more confident with their throws. And as I say that, looks like we're going to have the player escorted off the field gingerly.
So we will get back underway here. The injury sub coming in there for Lou Galvez. We hope she's okay. We'll try to get you an update on that later in the game. For now, the Thugs will get a chance to bring this back on offense. When these two teams played each other last year at CUCs, it was a universe point game in the pre-quarters with the Thugs coming out on top of that one. So these two teams definitely know each other well. And Dion, looking for an option, puts that around to Gartner. The layout attempt there just short as Kerr tried to get to that one. Deagle now surveying for Mark Dion on the reset. Gartner back to Dion. Mark Dion shooting that deep, has Cole Deagle in the space. Medwick getting there first, reading it well. Cole Deagle there didn't attack the disc, didn't come back towards it, trying to milk that into the end zone.
Far too casual, just assuming Medwick had already given up on the disc. Plot twist, Medwick had not, and made a good defensive play there.
So now Medwick with the disc here, looking for the under option with Wilson. Wilson on the near sideline. Puts a little dish up to Kerr here. Kerr looked for the huck, but decided to opt back here for the reset. And now the huck comes up. Kirk Wright in open space, but that one's going to sail too far out of his reach, and the Thugs have a chance again to go the full 70 yards of the field here, looking for an offensive hold.
And another long point. Lots of mental grit required to get this one done here.
Fertoski in play now. Looking for the reset. Doesn't find an option, has to dish it upfield. Shayna Yates is there. Yates to Gartner, just inbounds on the far sideline. Deagle puts that one to Dion. Now Aspen. Back to Mark Dion. Kirk Wright there was trying to help with the defense but can't get there. And now a foul called on the mark as Wilson got a little bit close. Dion brings it back into play here. Yates resetting. Yates put that one around, and that's going to bobble off the hands of Aspen, giving the disc back here to PBHG as they immediately reset. Looking upfield for an option is Medwick, and he will shoot for it. Has Catherine Herms just outside of the end zone. On the doorstep now for Herms. Looking for the reset to Yozenko, and unfortunately that one unable to be reeled in.
Just a bit of a mental lapse there, tired after the long strike deep and unable to just make that short pass happen.
Aspen in the middle now, resetting to Dion. Dion will go around to Yates. Yates over to Gartner, moving the disc well now as he looked for the huck option, and Aspen opts to cut under. That one going inside for Toski, attacking that one, now faking the upfield option. Aspen only looking for the reset right now as Mark Dion has it again and goes inside to Gartner. Garrett Gartner putting that one floaty into space, knows he has the big receiver there in Cole Deagle, taking advantage of it, and they tie this game up at 4s.
And this time Deagle making no mistake, not taking Medwick for granted, even a little bit, make sure he got his body in the right position, 2 hands up, gobbled it up, and brought it down in the end zone line, not making the same mistake as he did a bit earlier.
Yeah, no mistakes made that time from the Thugs. So many turns and long points we're seeing now. This game very much going to be the team who's able to grind it out the most, as we're about 40 minutes or so into this game. Just about 42 to be exact. So we'll see how they continue halfway through this game. There is a halftime cap at 45 minutes. So when that halftime cap goes on, they'll put 1 to the highest score and see who can play out to that one to take half. So could be a half at 6, could be a half at 5. Not sure what we're going to see yet.
And yeah, I think you mentioned in that last point there, Marina Aspen, not one of those players who's not looking to cut under, turn around, and huck the disc. She was coming under, getting the easy under, and then dishing back to the handlers. You see a lot of players maybe a little bit uncomfortable with the longest throws. Happy though to get themselves open and dish it back to the handlers. She's doing a great job at that. She's taking a break this point though. Looks like because of majority of that line's taking a break. That was a long one, and we have seen a lot of long points, like Becky said. If we get to 45 minutes here with nobody reaching 8 yet, there will be a timed half.
So that disc will sail into the hands of Thompson here. PBHG looking to retain their lead and get this hold here as Benoon puts that inside to Beardsell. Beardsell will dish that upfield, looking for Lim. Jada Lim looking for an option. Eyes for the reset, and Thompson, and he does a little dance but then clears out. Opens it up for Nelson to come back. Ness shoots that one upfield. Benoon laying out to retain possession, fakes the hammer. On the doorstep now. Has the reset in the middle of the field with Lim. Lim looking back to reset and goes for it, but a hand block. Ashley Schramm managing to get a touch on that one as she telegraphs it. Justice Paul immediately will shoot deep. And Garrett Peters there, that one always sailing out of bounds. You could see he wanted to toe the line, but unable to get to that one as it just flies out of bounds, and you can see it'll come up right around halfway.
So the observers dropped a little orange beanbag to indicate where the disc will come in. It's just to the left of your screen. You won't be able to see it until a minute or two here as we scroll leftwards. But yeah, Garrett Peters off to the races immediately after that turnover and just unable to be connected with.
So Benoon will walk this one up and bring it into play here. Paul tapping that one in. Centering back to Thompson. Kyle Thompson looking for the reset option, and Benoon, who has to dance a little bit, and they lose a few yards here, but don't look too panicked now as they go upfield to Ness. Ness fakes the flick shot upfield, but ends up with Beardsell still trapped on that far sideline. Jamming it up that one, and just slightly turning to get to it is Garrett Peters, and a foul is going to be called on this play.
I am going to personally disagree with this. Thompson was underthrown and turning around into Peters. Yes, there was a bit of contact, but he was well out of position. I guess Peters disagrees with me, so that's going to come in Thompson's hands.
So non-contested foul there as Thompson has the disc now, looking for Beardsell, but Cole Deagle there, no problems to make that run through D, kicking over the end zone cone as he goes, and it'll give the chance now to the Thugs, their second opportunity on this point to go and break and take their first lead in the game since the first point of this game, as Peters comes under. Just sitting around halfway here for the Thugs. Looking for a reset option, finds Schramm back, who resets to Paul. Peters finding himself in yards of space under now as he resets with Deagle. Deagle puts it to Paul, and Paul drops, unfortunately, in the middle of the field. A gift back to PBHG here.
And PBHG taking their time to come to the disc here. Tire players is actually a player tying her shoelace. I think that's Ness on the far sideline there.
Delorme with the disc. Renee Delorme looking again for the reset and will shoot an around backhand to Beardsell. Beardsell has Lim in the middle. That one's gonna hang out and laying out the touch on the D, but Benoon laying out to retain possession, dishes into the end zone in front of Lim, and they find their goal to lead at 5-4.
What a great play at the end of this long point there. Both teams showing athletic prowess by both players jumping to grab that disc. Benoon finally ending up with it on the end zone line. I want to give credit to Garrett Peters as well, who shut down Thompson and I can't remember who Beardsell's defender was as well, but I think it was Deagle. Deagle, both of those players shutting those top players down to make sure that they couldn't get the disc. Like you said a couple of times during the point there, Becky, dancing. Both players unable to shake their defenders from the Bunny Thugs. So the Bunny Thugs, even though they just got scored on, showing some great defensive ability.
Yeah, definitely game that's still very much in either of these teams' hands, seeing lots of back and forth on these points, and we're now just over 45 minutes into this game, so see if they go to a halftime cap here.
Hey, guys.
This game at 5-4, if that went on during the point, that means that this will be played out to 6, half be taken at 6 points. So we'll see how this one plays out. The Thugs will look to find a response right away.
I sincerely hope we do get a halftime because I need to go to the bathroom. Hero's got to go to the bathroom too, guys. Just saying. So as we get ready to pull here, PBHG up by 1, 5-4.
That one's going to float into the back as Dion will center that one up here with Fertoski as they go 1 and 2 to get it in the middle of the field. Gartner looks up to Tim Dirksen. Dirksen fakes the upfield shot and has Dion back, but a outstretched hand. Matthew Paget reading that one and getting just a fingertip to touch that one out of the hands of Dion. And Yozenko will get a chance to pick up here about 5 or so yards from the end zone looking for a break. Yozenko running out of options, has to shoot it into the end zone. Multiple people coming down with a catch. Looked like there might have been a call, but the Thug player, Dre Wieseth Wong, opts to retract it, and PBHG find another break to lead again here by 2 at 6-4.
Yeah, and a little bit of a party underneath the disc there. We saw the Bunny Thugs player, the tallest player, try to go up early. Just the disc still hanging above his hands and finally coming into the hands of the PBHG player waiting for it at the bottom. So a bit of a misluck there from the Bunny Thugs, but it looks like here we're going to have our timed half as Becky had explained. So we'll be back in a few minutes right after a short break.
Welcome back here. Second half action. 2018 Canadian Ultimate Championships in Surrey, BC. We've got a semifinal matchup here for you between the Thugs and PBHG. PBHG taking the halftime on a timed half here at 6-4. And Lucas, a pretty good first half. We saw a bit of a long one too.
Yeah, 3 very long marathon-style points with PBHG, coming out on top 2 of those 3 points and making it look easier. Felt like they had a bit more grind in them, and we'll see if the Bunny Thugs can find that same grind here for the second half and make a run of their own. We've seen Bunny Thugs has shown that they can't be discounted just yet. They've had a couple of good points and they've gotten a break, so we'll see if they can do more in the second half.
So an update for you on the other semifinal currently going on. Goomba Gang leading Beer Kitty 10-6 right now. So if it stays that way, it will be Goomba Gang in the final versus one of these teams. Of course, still about 40 minutes left, so can't predict it just yet, but currently Goomba Gang up by 4 in the other game.
And that surprises me. I would not have picked them to be that far ahead. I thought it was going to be closer.
Goomba Gang, of course, did beat Beer Kitty at regionals as well. So interesting to see how this is all unfolding, especially for the BC teams. But for now, we are here with Pretty Boys, Handsome Girls of Winnipeg, Manitoba against the Bunny Thugs, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and all Prairie matchup as the Thugs have to find a break here right out of half. Down in a zone look as Benoon has the disc. Benoon will reset that to Schwartz. Schwartz shoots it around to Ham. And the quick melt defense here to Person from the Thugs, trying to shake it up. But that leaves Thompson up line as he fakes the huck option, now looking for a reset. Benoon gets open. Lim now. Lim puts that low to Delorme and it sails through her legs.
Yeah, hard shot straight to the shoelaces, but Delorme unable to pull it up.
Dion puts that to the middle for Paul. Paul will go back to Mark Dion here. Hoyen, but a call back on the throw. Looks like a travel called on Mark Dion here as he put that one up to Hoyen.
The recreate, look, let me show you what I did.
So this will come back in on 1. There wasn't really a count yet when the call was made. Looking for an option, has Paul back, and it's his only option right now. Eyes for Paul, and that comes in, and another call here.
It's probably the high stall count call. He did have the disc for a long time, but
seemed a little bit quick to me for 10 stalls.
Yeah.
So contested stall down call. Dion will get it back in his possession. Coming in on 8.
Oh, exciting stuff.
Goes right away to Hoyen, and Benoon reads that, comes right through. Hoyen, his hand in the air, calling the foul.
Benoon knowing exactly what the Bunny Thugs were thinking there, get rid of the disc really quick, and made 1-2 steps to try and get that block, but obviously made a bit of contact with the Thug player.
Yeah, I definitely saw some contact, Lucas. Unsure whether it was before or after he was able to make the play on the disc, though.
Enacted at this tournament as well was the it should be at most tournaments, is the dangerous play call. So a player can make a call on the field that they feel that the offender or defender is making a dangerous play, and it counts the same as a foul, even if there may not have been any contact on the play. If the play was dangerous, i.e. the player ran through or bid sensationally or something like that, the other team is able to make that call. I don't think that's what's happening here, but just to keep you guys informed at home.
So now in on stall 6, as that's a contested foul. Contested fouls can only come back in on 6 as Dion looks right away, resets to Dirksen. Around back to Dion. Dion looking for Paul, finds him back. Not too many options here. The handlers forcing themselves to go every other throw. Now looking upfield. That one, the bid there from Beardsell into the back of Eric Wieseth.
Both players taking a bit of time to come off the ground there, and maybe potentially what I just talked about, a dangerous play from Beardsell.
Yeah, Beardsell coming in a little bit hot on the back of Weeseth there, and it looked like Beardsell was the first to stand up and signal the foul call, so maybe acknowledging there. However, it is going to be contested, so that one going back. And I got to say, I'm a little bit unsure about that call, Lucas. That was clearly contact into the back of Weeseth, so I'm not sure about contesting that one.
That is just like their opinion, so we'll let it stand.
Running out of options, finds Williams. Williams looking to reset back to Dion. Dion going every other pass here now as he goes around to Paul. Inside, Hoyen. Dion. But a pick was called, I think, about 1 or 2 throws back.
Beardsell, the player, indicating that he was picked. Coming laterally across the field here, I believe.
Seeing quite a few calls now coming into the second half. I think both teams really wanting to make sure they stay on top of this. However, all the calls coming right now on the side of PBHG. Paul. Under to Weeseth, who resets to Paul. Paul has Hoyen in the end zone. The around shot just outside, no, inside the end zone, and they will get their break right out of half to make this within 1 at 6-5.
And Bunny Thugs even battling through all those calls made by the PBHG team and vice versa, battling it out and finally getting the goal there. It looked like, Becky, I think that's why you were confused as well, that his feet weren't completely in, but we do have 2 pairs of eyes that on the observers watching that line, and both agreed and stuck both hands in the air to signal a goal. So Bunny Thugs getting the break right out of half here on a chippy point, and Becky mentioned it during that game. It can tend to cascade like that, where one player makes a call, another player makes a call. Well, now everybody's emotions are high, and everyone starts to think maybe a little bit irrationally, and calls start following each other one after the other. But we can hope that the players here embody a good spirit of the game and can figure it out cordially and make sure that that doesn't get any worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams getting a little bit jittery on that last point. And the Thugs now looking here for a break to get this back at tied. PBHG will see if they can get a hold and retain their 2-point lead here.
And we have a couple of nominations for our player of the game. We have Lou Galvez, as nominated by Lilibeth Galvez, and Liam Sawatsky. So two nominations. We're looking for more if you tweet at us using the hashtag CUC Surrey for fan player of the game.
Dion tried to run through on the D there as Yozenko has it now for PBHG. Resetting to Beardsell. Over now with Medwick. Medwick faked the Huck option, now going upfield to Paget. Peters on the mark. Paget putting that one floating into space. Beardsell with so much time reels that one in, goes for the one hand. Maybe want to catch that one with 2 hands to really make sure, but clearly no problem for him here as they keep their 2-point lead up now 7-5.
Yeah, a little bit of arrogance. They're going up only with one hand, knowing he didn't have any defenders around him to compete with. That's always something if you see a player drop something like that, you're going to give him hell for it. But Beardsell able to hold on with one hand and scored the goal here and make it a quick point, making that the quickest point we've seen in a while here, Becky, with long points for both teams, having the timed half come up rather than the point half. So we haven't even reached the point half yet, with PBHG still up 7-5.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see a quick point back here, as well as I'm sure that PBHG really wanted to be able to get that one back within their reach here, as in get it back to a good quick point, back to the offense that they were playing right at the start of this game. Make sure that they know it doesn't have to be a long scrappy point every single time.
No, and it saves some legs too for tomorrow. You do have one of 2 games to play tomorrow, so don't want to be running a full marathon here in this semifinals.
So Wright will line up to pull here for Winnipeg. We'll see how Saskatchewan can respond. pull here from Kirk Wright. Sail down to about the middle of the end zone, and Dion will collect. Finds McGill. McGill puts that one to Aspen. Thugs here looking for an option. Resetting to McGill, who puts it back to Dion. Gartner on the far side, making a good break side cut. Has Mark Dion breaking ankles in the middle. That one's going to sail up high, but no worries for a player like Tim Dirksen, able to get up to that one, but now looking desperately for the hands of Dion. Scoobers over. That one reeled in. Gartner now. Dion. Around to Schaefer. Schaefer one-handed attacks that disc. Schaefer resetting. Has yards of space here. Aspen reeling that one in. The reset again here. Thugs looking for an option upfield. Get Gartner on the far side. Dion going up line and contact, but it's reeled in on the second attempt from Aspen, so there will be no call on the play. Aspen will reset that one to Dion. To the middle now with McGill. McGill looked for the inside flick, but gets Aspen. Aspen looking for the second attempt. There was contact on that second attempt there. I'm not sure if she's making a call, but she did have a play on the second one, and there was contact.
Yeah, it looked like it was almost in her hands as she went up for that second bid. You're right, Becky, and I think this call is legitimate. And I'll agree with her making that call. It's probably they're going to go to the observer, it looks like, right away here.
Yeah, definitely contact on the second attempt for that one. So we'll see how it's resolved. Aspen went for the second one, and I think both players, to be fair, looking a little bit at the disc, but definitely hindered her ability to make that second play on it. So we'll see what the resolution will be. Observer coming in here. He's going to rule no foul.
I stand corrected.
Ruling maybe that she didn't have a play despite the contact.
Last back, Mark. Last back, Mark. Rita, last back. Last back, Tim.
The Bunny Thugs on their heels now, having to play some defense.
Wright puts that one upfield to El Faith.
No line, no line.
El Faith Jamal there, recentering to Kerr. Kerr will look for Wright, but there's a call, a pit call upfield. Shayna Yates will catch up here to her receiver. Wright remains in the middle. Looks like the pit call was on two players there, so both of them catching up. Kerr with the disc looking for Jamal upfield. Now Wright. Wright resetting it. And that one going straight upfield to Lim. Lim reeling that one in. And another pit called upfield. You can hear the sidelines trying to echo that one to the thrower on the field who hadn't recognized it yet.
Yeah, people yelling pick, people yelling nick, people were yelling call. There's all kinds of confusion. Then everybody else in the field had stopped playing except the handler and their dump cut.
So the disc will return to Lim. The reset open back right now with Wright as Lim looks directly for that but can't find it. Instead, going up the line, and that one dropped by Kerr is going to gift another opportunity here to the Thugs as Dion makes the decision to call a timeout. Looks like just a discussion over what the stall was, and the timeout will be called. Coming in on stall one. Good decision here again from this team to try to get their heads together to keep this game within their reach.
Sorry, it was a timeout called by the Thugs, right? Yeah. We have a tweet here, Lilybeth Galvez. I know we're going to go find out about Lou and how she's doing as soon as this game's. Maybe I'll take a quick stroll over there now and during the timeout and find out how she's doing for you.
So we'll get you an update on the injury there. This one right now, timeout here from the Thugs. We'll see how they can come out with it. They've had a little bit of trouble getting it up into the upfield lanes on these last couple points. The pressure defense here from PBHG causing a few problems, but they have still been able to get it upfield. Just I think in need of maybe a little bit more communication to work this one up. So the teams here will break out of the timeout. The Thugs will pick it up on a stall 1 count here on near the far sideline, about a yard off of it. Kirkwright will set the mark here on Dion. Disc in play. Looking right away to the reset in the middle with Yates. Yates will put it around to Gartner. Quick movement here from the Thugs, but not finding an upfield option as they have to go back to Dion in the middle. Dion looking for Dirksen under. Dirksen had Schaefer, but a huge hand block here from Elf Faith, known as Elf to this PBHG team, gets the hand block on that telegraph throw from Dirksen, and Lim will take it now in the middle. Inside to Elf. Finds Delorme on the near side. Has the reset with Kerr. Elfaith having no problem getting open right now. Back to Elfaith. Lim, 10 yards from the end zone here for PBHG, but another pick called. The stack getting a little bit congested here. Just back in play. That inside shot now to right. On the doorstep of another break here for PBHG. Lim shooting that one around. Finds Kerr in the end zone. Josh Kerr with the goal, and just like that, PBHG lead this game by 3 at 8-5.
So PBHG punching in another break in a row here to bring themselves up and take a little bit of control in this second half here. We are going to continue play even though the score is 8-5. We did already have our timed halftime, so we are now fully into the second half, even though we just reached the 8-point mark. And an update on Luke Galvez. Unfortunately, the medics are going to be following the concussion protocol, so she will not be returning to play today, and probably not tomorrow either. So PBHG losing a good cutter there, unfortunately, but rather be safe than sorry. She is fine. She's walking on her own. She's just, the medics want to be safe, and rather than get her out here and potentially cause more damage, she is just going to take the sideline.
Yeah, so she is okay, but unfortunately the concussion protocol in effect. So 48 hours, unfortunately, before she would be able to return to play. So a loss there for PBHG, but a deep team here as well. So obviously not relying on any one main cutter, as you can see, currently leading by 3 in this mixed division semifinal.
So PBHG, Medwick looks like he's holding the disc to pull the disc now, and
so Thugs will look for a response here pretty quickly now, as we have passed into about 20 minutes or so remaining in this game. So they're going to need to find a response quickly as Fertoski gets open for the reset. Looking to Deagle in the middle. Deagle putting that one up, but not reading the cut right. Dirksen making a couple different cuts there, and that one sits too low and short, and it will give the disc back here to PBHG.
Hey, Red, let's get this back right now.
Medwick will bring us back into play. Medwick immediately shooting deep, has a couple receivers. Yozenko in the space, Yates on defense. Contact, but Yozenko comes down with it, and now a foul called here by Dirksen, maybe thinking he had a play on it as the contact there. D. Korea coming in fast behind. Yozenko, that disc always intended for her.
yeah, and she did a good job to read it in traffic there with lots of bodies around her, able to bring it down and keep it in the possession of PBHG.
But disc remains where it is. Yozenko going up line. That one out of her hands, and Cole Deagle does well to get the second run through D. We've seen him do that so many times as Fertoski immediately shooting deep, looking for Dirksen. Dirksen towing the line, keeps That one inbounds. Unfortunately not. Actually looked like he was so close to that one, but unable to keep that. But it looks like it will stay there where it is, meaning that PBHG will have to go about 60 yards to try to punch in another break. As immediately Yozenko looking deep again. Medwick getting excited. Yozenko able to beat her defender most times here, and Yates brings it in. Resetting Aspen, not the intended receiver.
Oh
a
my.
touch there. Vertosky shooting deep, looking for Cole Deagle. He will reel that one in a yard from the end zone. Has Marina Aspen streaking there. Resets instead to Dirksen. Now Yates. Yates has Dion just outside of the end zone and quickly dished into Aspen. That one will be a goal, spiking in the disc. Thugs needed that hold to stay in the conversation here as they still trail by 2 at 8-6.
And a deserved spike there from Aspen. She worked really hard during that point to keep her team in it with the double bobble catch and on the left here, as well as obviously the goal. Both teams, that was a great point from both sides. A great catch downfield by, I can't remember her name now, but a great field in traffic, pulling that one out of the air, and then a great block by Deagle, streaking across for his second run-through block of the point, and making it hard on this PBHG team. And like you said, putting themselves back in the conversation here, Bunny Thugs. Not out of it just yet, but we are running out of time.
Yeah, there's about 15 minutes remaining in this game, so they will have to go ahead and get themselves a break. Almost now or never for them at this point, I think, Lucas. They've got to get themselves back in here with a break. They haven't broken this PBHG team since early in the first half of the game.
And so it looks like they're putting on some of their defensive stars here. We have Deagle, as you see, in number 2 on the line there, and Peters, number 1, looking to get some defensive pressure on.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
definitely a power line out here for the Thugs. You see the same offensive set from PBHG as they've been able to run with these players through a lot of the game. Only missing Oren Vanoon on the line, usually on this O-line. Thompson will pick up. Ham, the wind here definitely picking up as Beardsell gets it under. Fakes the first shot, fakes the second one, and now Schwartz open in the middle. Maddie Schwartz finds Lim. Lim looking to the end zone for Ham, and an easy goal and hold here for PBHG, keeping their lead at 3. They lead 9-6.
Uncharacteristic let go there from Garrett Peters, who's usually so good on defense, not staying on the open side of his man and allowing them to get open easily from a throw from Lim there. Great job, PBHG, exposing that mistake and taking another 3-point lead here.
Yeah, this PBHG team looking very good, looking like they're ready for a final game tomorrow. There's still 15 minutes remaining on the clock here. So Beer Kitty making a big comeback in the other semifinal. We last gave you an update at 10-6. Goomba Gang was leading. It is now 12-11. So Beer Kitty going on a pretty epic run over there and bringing that game back within 1. So we'll try to keep you updated on that one as well.
And it sounded like Beer Kitty was actually receiving too. So they have the potential to tie it up at 12-all on the other semifinal game. On this game, though, if you're still looking for a fan player of the game, so you can tweet at us using the hashtag CUC. So shoot us a quick text or, a quick tweet and let us know who you think should be playing. We already have a couple of nominations, and we will definitely be picking somebody at the end of the game to receive a pair of Layout Ultimate gloves.
That disc centered now to McGill. Deagle now will reset over to Aspen. Aspen faking the upfield look, looking for the reset. Dion as well to attack that one. Now under, Deagle has Vertosky going deep, but looks it off. Instead finds a needle pass to Dion. Thugs moving it well across the field here as McGill finds Vertosky. Into the end zone, but just too far out of the hands of Aspen. As you can see, Liam Sawatsky there from PBHG making sure his team calms down and tries to execute this opportunity to get another break.
And Aspen just running out of space on the sideline there, having to make a tough play and unable to do so.
Disc now with Kerr. Kerr will put that one around to Sawatsky. Sawatsky lining up the big inside-out backhand huck into space. Defensive coverage will get there, but the second effort reeled in here by PBHG, coming down with that one, doing such a good job. Shannon Cleason now looking to a reset. Cleason has it again.
Full of adrenaline.
That one around, but Deagle making the run through D, and he's off to the races. But unfortunately, there was no one to pick it up too quickly there, as now Dion has it. Dion will look to Deagle, go into the end zone, the around backhand. Such a precise shot here from the Thugs to keep this game within 2, 9-7. They've got to find a way to get a break.
Again, another exciting point. Both teams were laying it all out on the line. Number 11 here from PBHG, Shannon Clayson, with a great second effort after the MAC to D from the Bunny Thug player, able to grab it and make sure, give her team a chance on the end zone line. Unfortunately, Deagle's playing for the other team, and he makes a block to send it the other direction. Heads deep, no one able to throw it to him, but that's fine. They just waited a few extra seconds until he was open again.
So, update for you, the other semifinal has gone even more wild. It is now tied at 12s. Beer Kitty managing to make a huge comeback in that game. They were down by 4 points. They've gone on a 6-2 run over Goomba Gang to tie that one at 12. So, no longer sure who the winner of this one will play in a semifinal, as it does look like PBHG calling a timeout here. I think trying to run the clock a little bit, as there's 10 minutes remaining in this one.
And that's more of the result I was expecting to hear in our first update for the other semifinal, with not expecting Goomba Gang to be that far ahead. I was expecting a closer game, and there we have it, tied up at 12 here. Like Becky said, potentially a PBHG timeout to sort of run the clock a little bit, get them closer to that hard cap horn where they can make the stand right on this 2-point lead. Bunny Thugs looking to get 2 breaks in a row to make it tied up, or at least get 1 break and force the potential chance to make a universe point. But they would have to break 3 points in a row in order to get this win.
And I'm going to correct myself a little bit. Thought there was about 10 minutes left. There is under 5 minutes left. The hard cap going at 2 p.m. Pacific time here in this one. So we'll see how they can work their way up here. They're going to have to break, and that makes more sense for the PBHG timeout there to stall a little bit of that time and momentum as well. So they will have to get a break here in the next 4 minutes before the horn goes if they hope to get themselves on a chance of tying it up. Thugs getting set to pull here with Justice Paul.
It's a good pull. It's going to hang in the middle of the field. Able to set up what looks like they're going to come down with a bit of a zone look. Nope, sorry, I'm corrected.
Thompson will pick up here with Peters on the mark. Thompson was looking deep, but instead goes for the reset a bit low, but Ham slides to keep that one. Now shooting into Lim. Herms now. Catherine Herms finds Lim, but that one shot not to the intended place. Fertoski will shoot, looking for Garrett Peters. Peters managing to reel that one in despite the touch, and now to the end zone for Schramm with the goal. The Thugs get a break back before the horn here, and they're within 1 at 9-8.
Very important timing, very important point. Great job by the Bunny Thugs, not wasting any time to make sure they punch that one in quick to give them a chance. If the horn goes now, they have the opportunity. The game would be to 10, but they have the opportunity to tie it up at 9 and force double game point, or as we like to call an ultimate, universe point. Oh man, I'm fired up. This is getting exciting.
So 9-8 here. PBHG with the advantage still on their side. 2 minutes to go until the horn. This one at this point has got to be a do-or-die break here for the Thugs. See if they can get another one in here to make it a universe point game.
And we have our defensive powerhouse out for the Thugs again here with Peters and Fertowski and Deagle all out for this point, trying to earn themselves another chance at getting a break here. Both sidelines quite energetic around us. Everyone feeling a bit nervous, a bit excited, a bit of adrenaline, all of the above, trying to make it happen in this last few minutes of this game.
Dion will put a high pull there.
Here we go. Here you go, Garrett.
Now Benoon with the disc.
He's got nothing. Catch up.
Benoon looking for Paget in the middle. Paget shoots that one upfield and a run-through block here. Haley Williams getting to that disc first.
Williams, great awareness to make that block.
Dion puts that one to the middle. A poach D there from Sawatsky, can't get there as McLeod now into Williams, reeling that into her chest. Williams will dish back to the reset for Mark Dion. Dion finds Deagle. A attempt at a layout D there from Beardsell was definitely into the back there of Deagle as well, but he does well to retain that, and a pick called in the stack. The Thugs 10 yards from the end zone, a chance to make this a universe point game.
Yeah, with 1 minute to, or just under 1 minute to the horn here.
Resetting to Dion. Mark Dion finds Fertowski 5 yards from the end zone for the hammer, looking for Peters, and
Oh,
unfortunately
no.
that is not the option that they needed to get this point.
Yeah, hammer always looks good in theory, but
Timeout called here by PBHG. Peters was so open. Unfortunately, that hammer caught the wind a little bit too, so not the intended throw there from Fertowski. So tempting when a receiver is that open on the far side of the end zone, but giving a chance here. PBHG just need to work it up 70 yards, get their hold, and they will be going to the finals.
yeah, if you're going to make a play like that, it's got to be an absolute bullet. And unfortunately, Fertowski not able to make the howitzer come out. So as a result, we now have PBHG back on offense, looking to secure this game for them. As you heard, the horn went off the horn went off as the timeout, just after the timeout was called. And I think Becky's got an update for our other semifinal here for you guys.
Goomba Gang have won that game 13-12 over Beer Kitty. Waited for the horn, threw a pass into the end zone, gets the universe point win there over Beer Kitty. So Goomba Gang will be headed to the finals. The winner of this one still to be decided.
Lots of exciting action here at CUC Mixed Nationals in Surrey.
So the disc will come in here with Sam Beardsell. Beardsell has Paget going under, who gets high. Garrett Peters on the mark, now under again for Toski in the space, gets the run through block.
Great awareness by Fertowski again.
Mark Dion in the middle. Needing an option, will look for Fertowski, a layout attempt from Sawatsky as he now shoots an inside flick to the end zone. Cole Deagle with the goal, gets the inside position, and the Bunny Thugs are taking us to a universe point game.
I said earlier that 3 breaks in a row was going to be tough to do. Well, the Bunny Thugs have got themselves 2/3 of the way there. This is turning out to be what we said at the beginning, quite a barn burner.
We knew this was going to be a good game. We didn't know how good this was going to get. And the Bunny Thugs breaking twice in a row, now getting themselves tied up this game, 9-all, universe point. The winner of this point going to the finals to face off against Goomba Gang.
Oh, I'm so excited and nervous all at the same time. I'm not even playing. I can't even imagine what these players are feeling like. I just sit here in the booth and give you my ideas once in a while, but these guys have got to play a game of Ultimate. It looks like PBHG is going to come out with their set offense, sans Benoon. So it's going to be Thompson and Beardsell, their main handler and cutter, as well as Jada Lim on their female line. And we're going to have the last 2 defensive points for Bunny Thugs. So no changes there. They're working hard. They're probably tired as hell, but going to give it their all. This last kick at the can here.
Mark Dion will pull. Universe point underway here. Mixed division semifinal. Thompson will pick this one up here, centering to Medwick. PBHG in a side stack as that goes under to Paget. Peters on defense, inside shot to Beardsell. Paget streaking to the end zone. Peters is going to shut that down as Medwick has it now in the middle. Medwick looking for an option, has Jada Lim going, but that one is going to sail out of bounds on the far side, and the Thugs a chance to go 70 yards to make the finals.
An errant pass, maybe a high stall count. Medwick having to get rid of the disc really quickly there.
He did have an open limb going towards the end zone, gutting maybe a little bit too excited on that one as Dion gets us in play here on offense for the Thugs. Back to Fertoski. Fertoski has Deagle. Looking for a reset option and finds John Fertoski back over to Dion. Inside to Haley Williams. Fertoski hucking, but there is no receiver there. Fertoski hands on his chest saying, my bad on that one. PBHG another chance to go and get themselves this victory.
Yeah, Fertoski probably thinking that either Deagle or Peters on the far side of the field were streaking deep as he turned across to throw that.
Medwick under. Some poachy defense here from the Thugs women in the lanes as now Schwartz will find herself in open space on the far side. Schwartz looking for an option, has the reset in Thompson. Thompson over to Lim. Lim has Delorme in the middle who reels that one in. Medwick does well to look off the upfield option as it wasn't quite there, and now Paget. Matthew Paget looking under to Beardsell who reels that in despite the layout from Fertoski. The dish to the end zone. Medwick with the goal. PBHG has done it. The Universe Point victory. Pretty boys, handsome girls are headed to the final to face off against Goomba Gang.
And all credit to the Bunny Thugs there. What an amazing final point. The chance to get their third break in a row. Unfortunately, just a miscue from Fertowski throwing the disc deep, but I wouldn't take anything away from them. That was a hard-fought end of the game from Bunny Thugs to try and earn themselves a spot in the finals here. They have nothing to cry about. That was an amazing game to watch and commentate for you guys here.
Incredible game. Hats off to both of these teams. The Thugs overcame a deficit to make it Universe Point. PBHG valued the disc on that point here, able to get it into the end zone. Medwick was all over the field today, deserving player to score that Universe Point victory, and PBHG will be headed to their first ever finals here at the Canadian Ultimate Championship Mixed Division. They will play tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time against Goomba Gang out of BC. Bunny Thugs will play for third, facing off against Beer Kitty, also from BC. We'll see how those games go tomorrow. I think we got to go with our main vote. Shout out for player of the game, Lou Galvez, despite getting injured in this game. Definitely still deserving of that player award, your fan player of the game. So incredible show we just had here for you today. Unfortunately, Thugs will play for bronze, but PBHG, it's all about them right now. They will head to the gold medal game tomorrow. For Becky Thompson, Lucas Main, it's been a great afternoon with you here today, and we will be back with more action tomorrow.
Or no, we come back this afternoon, don't we? We come back at 4:30 this afternoon.
Come back with more action from the mixed division tomorrow. Mixed Masters finals will be this afternoon at 4:30.
There we go. So we'll see you then.